Joining us this morning, Brad Webb from the Save Our Gallatin Front. Brad, let's talk about, first off, let's get into the proposal from your point of view. What's going on here then, and then we'll get a little more specific with the study that you've had going on this area.
Okay, DNRC, which oversees the school trust lands. School trust lands are to generate some revenue for schools. Some is grazing, some is logging, some is agriculture, some is commercial land. But DNRC and the school trust land south of Bozeman is proposing up to a 600, 700 acre logging project in an area that is pretty much an intact ecosystem. If you back up and look at all of the Gallatin Front, from Mount Ellis or Bear Canyon way to the east, moving right down across the valley, almost every canyon, every valley is significantly either logged, has a major road in it like Highlight, or has a very large trail system in it. The Limestone Triple Tree area, it's a little bit more difficult to get to, but it's phenomenal wildlife habitat. And since everything else has been pretty much really used, some people would even say abused, overrun with people, we feel that this area is really critical habitat for elk, for moose, and a variety of other wildlife.
Now the DNRC has proposed logging a portion of that. They have to manage this land somehow. Your thoughts on that process that brought them to logging this?
Well, the reason they want to log it is twofold, but the major one is to generate some revenue that would go to the designated schools. In this case, I believe it's one of the school, Montana Tech over in Butte, and then some of the money goes to public buildings in Montana. What they get from it is really not that much. I don't remember offhand what they might get. Some of it depends on what the bid is. Managing the land, there's a lot of ways to manage land. Our concern is actually probably more the road going into the area and some of the logging. Obviously, different people across the valley have different concerns with that. Some people, out in the valley don't want to look at a view shed that is a major logging thing. Less concerned with that than the long-term impact of this habitat. Once we run a road through it, it's going to be just like Sourdough, it's going to just be like Bear Canyon, and the moose, the elk, some of the other wildlife there is going to be displaced. And this is really the last place in the Gallatin Valley for wildlife to move back and forth between the valley and the Gallatin Range.
Before we wrap this up, Brad, you have an opportunity for folks to come learn a little bit about this coming up on Wednesday.
We do. On Wednesday, there's a public meeting at the library. We're going to just kind of inform people of where the project is right now. And DNRC is still working on what will the project look like. It's not written in stone. There's still chances to influence that. And we will also be sharing the results of a wildlife study that our group commissioned last winter and spring. 7 o'clock, Bozeman Library. It'll be in a large community room there.
Perfect. Again, Brad Webb joining us this morning from the Save Our Gallatin Front, talking about a meeting coming up and a proposal to do some logging south of Bozeman. Brad, thanks for joining us.
You bet.